Hello everybody and welcome to our latest food and beverage Brexit update. Well, here we are with 29 days to go to the end of the Brexit implementation period. So this is our thoughts here at Leatherhead Food Research as to where we are now. What we're going to be going through is labelling for Great Britain, Northern Ireland and the EU, health and identification marks, organic regulations, country of origin references, product protection, then importing and exporting your product, organic foods and certificates of inspection, country of origin references and tariffs, protected designations, certifications and documentation, especially with regards to export health certificates, border inspections and logistics considerations, followed by trade deals, the UK internal market and the impact of the US election, and a short summary at the end of the things we have gone through. So, starting with labelling. When placing products on the market in the UK and EU, food of animal origin placed on the UK or EU market before the 1st of January 2021 can continue to circulate within the UK and EU market without any labelling changes. Food of non-animal origin placed on either market before the 1st of January 2021 can also continue to circulate both in the EU and the UK markets without labelling changes. In the withdrawal agreement, a good is placed on the market in the EU when it is first supplied for distribution, consumption or commercial use. This is whether it is free of charge or not. Labelling food placed on the EU market following the 1st of January 2021. This of course will also include Northern Ireland. All food will have to follow EU regulations and legislation. The address, prepackaged food and casings must have an EU or Northern Ireland address for the Food Business Organisation or an address of the EU or Northern Irish importer on the packaging or food label. You can continue to use an EU, GB or Northern Ireland address for the FBO on prepackaged foods or casings sold in Great Britain until the 30th of September 2022. From the 1st of October 2022, prepackaged food or 1st of January 2021 can continue to circulate within the UK and EU market without any labelling changes. Food of non-animal origin placed on either market before the 1st of January 2021 can also continue to circulate both in the EU and the UK markets without labelling changes. In the withdrawal agreement, a good is placed on the market in the EU when it is first supplied for distribution, consumption or commercial use. This is whether it is free of charge or not. Labelling food placed on the EU market following the 1st of January 2021. This of course will also include Northern Ireland. All food will have to follow EU regulations and legislation. The address, prepackaged food and casings must have an EU or Northern Ireland address for the Food Business Organisation or an address of the EU or Northern Irish importer on the packaging or food label. You can continue to use an EU, GB or Northern Ireland address for the FBO on prepackaged foods or casings sold in Great Britain until the 30th of September 2022. From the 1st of October 2022, pre-packaged food or casing sold in Great Britain must include a UK address for the FBO. If the FBO is not in the UK, it must include an address of your importer who is based in the UK. With regards to the EU emblem, this shouldn't be used on any food produced in Great Britain from the 1st of January 2021 without permission. Health and identification marks. These must take the new format as shown in the UK government guidance. The Food Standards Agency approved businesses in Great Britain can be either United Kingdom, GB or UK. GB is just for products exported outside of the EU. Food Standards Agency approved businesses in Northern Ireland, United Kingdom brackets Northern Ireland or UK brackets NI. Product protection. Well, it sort of remains quite similar apart from different logos. Here we've got a display of all the logos. It's protected designation of origin, PDO, protected geographical indication, PGI, and traditional speciality guaranteed as TSG. Just slightly, well, just different logos in this case. All UK products registered under the EU scheme before the 1st of January 2021 will remain protected under the UK scheme. New products produced in Great Britain wanting protection will need to apply for protection under the UK scheme. Protection will be needed under the UK scheme before protection can be applied for under the EU scheme. Northern Ireland producers can apply to the EU scheme for protection in Northern Ireland and the EU before applying for protection under the UK scheme. From the 1st of January 2021, all UK protected geographical indications registered under the EU geographical indication GI schemes by the end of the transition period will continue to receive protection in the EU. So if it's registered in the EU, it'll be protected in the UK and the EU after transition. Producers or retailers of food and agricultural GI products produced and for sale in Great Britain and registered before the 1st of January 2021 will have until the 1st of January 2024 to change packaging and marketing materials to display the new UK GI logos. There are specific rules for various categories of food. Mincemeat, references to EU and non-EU foods do not need to be changed until the 30th of September 2022. After that, where specific countries are not referred to, the labelling must change to UK and non-UK. Fruit and vegetables. References to EU and non-EU do not need to be changed until the 30th of September 2022. From the 1st of October 2022, you must use non-UK or UK and non-UK when the label does not list each country of origin. If you're part of the approved trader scheme, you must remove the EU emblem from your UK food labels and use the replacement GB label from the 1st of January 2021. You can sell existing stock with the EU emblem on only in GB until it runs out. Olive oil. If your extra virgin olive oil or virgin olive oil is a blend of oils from different countries, the label must contain one of the following: a list of each country of origin, the statement blend of olive oils from more than one country or similar wording, the name of the trading bloc to which a regional trade agreement applies, for example, blend of olive oils of European origin. Honey. For honey blends sold in England and Wales until the 30th of September 2022, you can use one of the following: blend of honeys from more than one country, blend of EU honeys, blend of non-EU honeys, blend of EU and non-EU honeys. I always find that last one slightly funny because it's basically honey from anywhere. Anyway, if you continue to use EU terms, you must ensure your label is accurate. For example, from 1st of January 2021, a blend of UK and French honey placed on the market in England and Wales would either need to list both countries or use the words blend of EU and non-EU honeys, as the UK is no longer part of the EU. From the 1st of October 2022, you must use blend of honeys from more than one country or similar wording if you decide not to list each country of origin. Importing and exporting. The EU regulations are not going to change, and the UK will be taking a snapshot of those before the end of the transition period and amending them such that they operate outside of the EU framework. When it comes to importing food products, there are three basic types: products of animal origin, composite products, and food of non-animal origin. These are all covered by the basic regulatory requirements: the General Food Law Regulations 178/2002, especially Article 11, food and feed imported into the community, and Article 14, the food safety requirements, and Regulation 852/2004 on the hygiene of foodstuffs. The UK variants on these regulations can be found at legislation.gov.uk. Specific regulations regarding the import of food or feed into the EU from third countries. This will be what the UK is becoming. Products of animal origin. Regulation 2017/625 of the European Parliament and of the Council of the 15th of March 2017 on official controls and other activities performed to ensure the application of food and feed law, rules on animal health and welfare, plant health and plant protection products. Food not of animal origin is also covered by EU Regulation 2017/625. The UK variant can be found at legislation.gov.uk. Organic regulations exporting from Great Britain to the EU. The EU logo cannot be used on UK products from the 21st of January 2021 unless your UK control body is authorised by the EU to certify UK goods for export to the EU. The UK and EU agree to recognise each other's standards. This is called equivalency. If the UK does not reach an equivalency deal with the EU, you cannot export organic food to the EU and label it as organic. You could, of course, always take off all reference to organic, then you would be able to export it, but you'd lose your organic premium. You'll no longer be able to use the EU's trade control and expert system, new technology, Traces NT, to import organic food to Great Britain. There is going to be an interim manual UK organic import system from the 1st of January 2021. All your imported goods must have a certificate of inspection. You'll not need a COI if you're moving goods from Northern Ireland to Great Britain. To request the forms for the manual UK organic import system, you should contact your organic control body. Organic regulations. You must not use the EU Organics logo from 1st of January 2021 unless your control body is authorised by the EU to certify UK goods for export to the EU. The UK and EU have agreed to recognise each other's standards. This is exactly the same as the EU requirements. You can continue to use your approved UK Organic Control Body logo in Great Britain. In Great Britain, you must change the statement of agriculture to UK agriculture or UK and non-UK agriculture. Country of origin references. Foods both from and sold in Great Britain can be labelled as Origin EU until the 30th of September 2022. From the 1st of October 2022, food from Great Britain must not be labelled as Origin EU. The basic country of origin labelling references in 1169/2011 in both the EU and GB remain unchanged, being the country where the product last underwent a substantial economic change. This is where tariffs are slightly different. When it comes to tariff rates, however, there is a notable change, the country of origin being that which makes the greatest financial input into the product. So, if you're using a relatively small amount of an expensive ingredient, that may change the origin of the product with regards to the tariffs. Export health certificates. An export health certificate is an official document that confirms your export meets the health requirements of the destination country. You will need an export health certificate from the 1st of January 2021 to export live animals and animal products from Great Britain, that is England, Scotland and Wales, to the EU and Northern Ireland. Move live animals and animal products from Great Britain to Northern Ireland and transit through the EU and Northern Ireland. Border inspection posts. Border inspections will take place on imports from an EU country from the 1st of July 2021. All products of animal origin and certain animal byproducts must enter Great Britain at an established point of entry with an appropriate border inspection post from the 1st of July 2021. You'll need to check if your product must be imported through a point of entry with an appropriate border control point by looking for the CN code for your product in Annex 1 to Regulation 2019-2007 or Decision 2007-275. The same goes on imports into the EU from Great Britain. Veterinary border controls are seen as a key factor to ensure that the live animals and animal products entering into the European Union are safe and meet the specific import conditions laid down in the Union legislation. Lists of designated veterinary border control points in the EU and the EEA can be found on the EU webpage. There are exemptions from inspection at EU border control posts. This will apply to UK border control posts as well, because we're borrowing or importing their legislation. The exemption applies if the following applies: if the product is made without processed meat or meat extracts or powders, made with less than 50% of any other processed product of animal origin. Any dairy must come from an approved country and have undergone the correct heat treatment for that country, regardless of the percentage of it in the composite product. It should be labelled for human consumption and being shelf stable at ambient temperatures and securely packaged or sealed in clean containers. Even more exemptions. There are a variety of composite products that are exempt, including confectionery. This includes sweets and chocolate. They must be heat treated and containing less than 50% processed dairy and egg products. Pasta and noodles, not mixed or filled with processed meat products, heat treated and containing less than 50% of processed dairy and egg products. Food supplements packaged for the final consumer, containing small amounts, in total less than 20%, of processed animal products. This includes glucosamine, chondroitin, and or chitosan, other than meat products. Need to keep an eye on your logistics. Border control points may be limited to specific products, so you'll need to check that your current routes travel through ports or airports with the appropriate border control points. Prior to Brexit, there were no border control points in Wales. Goods subject to border control checks coming from Ireland into Wales will need to travel to a border control point before it can be used in Wales. The extra checks necessary at Dover will build a delay into the supply chain, which may reduce the shelf life of goods. There will also be delays coming the other direction, of course. Shipping in heavy goods vehicles to Europe. The HGVs will not be able to carry out internal shipments within the EU from one factory to another or from a factory to another destination, such as a warehouse or whatever. That as yet hasn't got through the negotiations. Trade deals. The big stumbling block, or at least the stumbling block, as far as the EU deal and possibly the US deal. The Internal Market Bill initially follows a similar route to the EU, stating that any product legally made or imported into one of the members of the UK should be saleable in any other member of the UK. The devolved authorities have seen this as a power grab by the Westminster Parliament, as it removes powers where the devolved authorities are seen as responsible authority and have the power to pass legislation over food. The most important parts of the bill are clauses 44, 45 and 47, which according to the Westminster government allow them to break international law, but in a limited way. This hasn't yet been approved. However, with the Conservative majority in Parliament, there is little that can be seen as able to stop it. The EU has already interpreted this as a breach of the withdrawal agreement's requirement for both parties to act in good faith and have started action in the European Courts of Justice. It has also been interpreted as putting the Good Friday Agreement at risk. Scotland wants to go in a different direction. The Scottish Parliament is in the process of passing the UK withdrawal from the European Union Continuity Scotland Bill. This bill aims to make sure that Scottish law can continue to align with EU law after the 31st of December 2020. This bill will help Scottish law to keep up with future developments in EU law after the 31st of December. It will also allow changes to be made to EU laws which are already operating in Scotland. This could apply to areas that are devolved in Scotland, like the environment, agriculture, fisheries, and food. It will give Scottish ministers power to keep devolved laws similar to EU laws, and is most certainly a clash with the with the UK Internal Markets Bill. The election of Joe Biden as the president-elect of the USA has indicated a big change in direction for the USA towards a more international focus. Rejoining the Paris Accord on climate change and the World Health Organization being on the cards. Joe Biden, however, has stated that there is unlikely to be a US-UK trade deal if anything is done by the UK that is seen as damaging to the Good Friday Agreement. Secondly, he's stated we are not going to sign anything that the chicken farmers of Delaware don't like, so the spectre of chlorine-washed chicken still remains. With the increasing international focus being taken by the US, one also has to question whether a trade deal with the UK will be given priority over a trade deal with the EU. Trade deals already achieved and the value of trade in 2019. Unfortunately, these are in alphabetical rather than financial order, but you can see they range from many billions, I say many billions. Switzerland, 32.4 billion. Japan, 29.1 billion. Down to the Faroe Islands with 252 million. So not very many. Kenya, 1.4 billion. And I was looking for the Palestinian Authority, which is 41 million. So a wide variety of values there, especially when you compare them with the EU trade in 2018 of 294 billion and the US of 201.6 billion. So priority, there is a lot of work yet to be done. So what do we expect to happen between now and the Brexit deadline? A deal. The UK government, rather than one single deal, has been looking for individual deals to cover individual sectors, while the EU wants one overarching deal. The UK's aim doesn't seem to have worked so far, and there doesn't seem to be a deal in place or possibly likely to be in place. Concern is growing that what will be achieved will be what is called BRINO, Brexit in name only. The UK government is trying to sell the idea that a no-deal Brexit won't be that bad, whilst other people are trying to sell there will be problems with whatever happens. The problem with the deal is that there are some people in Parliament that won't accept a deal of whatever sort, similar to the election results across the Atlantic. However, as previously stated, the Prime Minister has such a majority in Parliament that if he achieves a deal with the EU, he'll probably be able to get it ratified. If the UK Parliament ratifies the deal and the EU member states don't, then a no-deal Brexit can be sold as the EU's fault. To sum up, summary of the key points to consider. Health and identification marks. UK changes to GB, except for Northern Ireland, where it changes to UK brackets NI. Organic regulations are waiting for the recognition of UK regulations for trade to proceed. Country of origin references remain unchanged for labelling. Product protection. the UK is introducing a new system. Organic foods and certificate of inspections. COIs will be needed for UK imports. Country of origin references and tariffs. The country of origin is the one with the largest financial input into the product. Protected designations. New UK logos, however, they're using the same terminology. Certification and documentation. There'll be export health certificates required, border inspections and logistics considerations. You need to think of both importing and exporting from and to the UK. The UK internal market bill is very contentious, both within the UK and internationally. The US trade deal is very much dependent on the new US president, US lobbying and the UK internal market bill. Of other trade deals, 24 have been done so far, although they're relatively small scale when compared to the US and the EU. What should you do next? Import and export is likely to be your greatest challenge. The address on the label should be an active company out in Europe or in the EU if you're coming into the EU. This will be for both labeling claims and additives. Shipping documentation, you'll need to make sure you get all that right. A comment I heard apparently from the customs official at Calais is that shippers will only make a mistake once on importing because it'll cause so much problems. Tariff payments, if we don't achieve a deal, will become a fact of life, and you'll need to be prepared for new labelling requirements as and when they occur. So, what are we doing to support you? We're closely monitoring negotiations so we can provide regular news updates via daily food news as things progress and speed up as the 31st of December approaches. Golden above members, have you registered for our Brexit newsletter? Get in contact with membership at leatherheadfood.com. After the 31st of December, regulatory divergence will inevitably take place. Beyond our global legal highlights, we will be able to keep exporters and importers informed on how changes may affect them. That's what our helpline's for. If you need support with scenario planning for your business, Leatherhead is assisting a large range of companies to navigate through the maze of changes. Do get in touch at membership@leatherhead.com. From now, new novel foods and nutrition and health claims need to be registered in both the EU and the UK, as new EU claims won't be valid in the UK and vice versa. We're extending our services to aid with UK as well as EU submissions. For this, get in touch with legislation at leatherheadfood.com. Any questions?
Thank you very much to Oliver. That was a very interesting and detailed presentation, so thank you. I've just been looking through the chat box and looking at the various questions. So, okay, Oliver, would you be able to answer some of the questions that have come in? Okay, what addresses will be required on products going to Northern Ireland?
If you're exporting a product directly from the UK to Northern Ireland, I would recommend actually using an address in Northern Ireland as the importer but Northern Ireland will count as part of the European Union. So actually use an address of an importer in any other member state of the Union. But the using a Northern Irish address would be better, especially if the product isn't going anywhere other than Northern Ireland.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for that one. Okay, another question here. Can packs carry more than one address?
Here, the answer is a nice simple yes. It's a case that the address is really there for the enforcement authorities, and the enforcement authorities will look at the pack and see if they're in Great Britain, they will see a British address and approach that address, and if they're in Europe, they'll see a European address and use that.
Okay, lovely. Okay, I've got another question here. What information do pallets require?
This was an interesting one. Had to have a quick look and a bit of a think about that. This depends whether you are actually selling a pallet load of something. Usually pallets won't be the outer container of the retail pack, so they will be exempt from the food labelling or food information regulations. But other than that, if it is the outer pack of which just contains retail packs rather than boxes of retail packs, you'll need the product name, company address, any specific storage conditions, and the company name and address, product name, specific storage conditions. I think that's it. There may be one more, but it's minor.
Okay, so that's the pallet. So the outer packaging. We've got a question here about, does it also apply to the outer packaging?
The outer packaging is covered by the regulations, and you need the product name, any specific storage conditions,
Okay.
the company name, and just remembered best before date.
Okay, perfect. Okay, moving on then. Okay, let me have a quick look here. How is fortified flour going to be dealt with?
This, at the moment, from the last bit of government work that I have seen, hasn't been sorted out properly. What you have to bear in mind is it is the flour as an ingredient that is being fortified rather than the product. So you don't have to have 15% of the RDA of the product per 15% per 100 grams of the product. It just has to be 15% of the RDA per 100 grams of the flour. And if you fortify the flour to that level, that will meet the UK and the EU regulations. The UK regulations at the moment specify a minimum fortification level without a top level. So the government is saying if you're exporting flour or products with fortified flour in it, if you fortify the flour to 15% of the RDA of the vitamins and minerals per 100 grams, that satisfies both sets of regulations.
Okay, good. Okay. Is the interpretation of the withdrawal agreement placed on the market definition that it must be sent or that it can be held with proof of sale?
The withdrawal agreement, when it comes to the product being placed on the market, it has to be undergone the first step of the sale process of going on the market. Coming off the end of the production line, I think I said previously, may count as enough, but no, it has to go one step beyond. If it's with a wholesaler, it is on the market. If you have a signed agreement that has been produced for somebody, if you're doing own label packaging and it's produced on that date, that will be proof of sale or being placed on the market for those people. So you don't have to have an actual physical receipt, but you have to have proof that it has been produced for that person and they will pay you for it at that time. So that will be on the market.
And once products have been placed on the market, do they have to be relabeled?
Right. Once it's been placed on the meat products, and fresh meat cannot be sold without the new labels after the 1st of January. But when you talk about the other products, non-meat products, if they're placed, or products not of animal origin, I think is the exact phrase, they will be, once they're on the market, they can circulate until their end of their use by date or they've reached the consumer. They don't need to be relabeled.
Okay. I think there's clarification needed on a point here because we're moving now to the GB Health Mark. You said that the GB Health Mark is only for export outside the EU.
I made a mistake there.
Okay.
Right. Outside of the EU, you can use the GB and the UK. It's a case that written in the EU legislation as stands, the UK was written in as the code for the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. If it wasn't one of those countries, it had to match the ISO, a specific ISO code for that country. And the ISO code for that country, or for the United Kingdom and Great Britain, is GB. So within the EU, it should be GB. I'm sorry, if you look at the government guidance, I think my eyes must have crossed by the time I got there. It was...
Okay. Well, thanks for that clarity. Yeah, good. Hopefully, well done. Thank you for that. Okay, another question here. Will Northern Ireland follow the EU rules in relation to export health certificates?
Again, quick answer there is because they're under all the EU regulations according to the Northern Ireland Protocol. Yes, they should.
Okay. And the composite foods which meet the exemption criteria, so therefore will be exempt, will they still need a health an export health certificate?
What you'll find is the exemption is from inspection at the border post. So yes, my opinion is that they will need an export health certificate.
Okay. And do you need to complete the exemption form for any exempt products going to Northern Ireland?
Yeah. And it has to be per shipment. It's one of the main problems that's cropped up. If you're doing a spit load of things, of products, especially this applies to supermarkets, they will require the health certificates for each individual part of that shipment. So that's going to be a lot of paperwork.
Okay, thanks for that. And we've got another one on the export health certificate. What are the differences between the export health certificate and the health certificate required to get composite uncooked products into the EU Northern Ireland, which are frozen? E.g. require baking, cooking before consumption.
Right. If it's a frozen product, the export health certificate will be fine. As I understand it at the moment, there is discussions going on between the Westminster government and the EU about unfrozen meat products going into Northern Ireland or into the EU, because somebody has spotted at the last moment that they're not actually covered by the export health certificates. This is something that the committee, with regards to the Northern Ireland Protocol, are working on. Hopefully, as we speak, they may have come up with an answer, but I haven't actually seen the answer at the moment.
Okay, so if there is a deal, will the export health certificate be needed?
Yes. Well, unless they're explicitly excluded from the deal. The deal, as I understand it, what they're going for at the moment is a free trade and zero tariff. You will still need to be able to prove that your product is safe.
Okay, so I think this is the last question that we'll be able to take. Is there any changes coming regarding regulations for food additives, enzymes, and flavors?
Right. In the immediate future, no. You may have seen earlier this week some interesting shenanigans. I think it was the Taiwanese parliament where they were throwing pig offal at other people, and punches were being thrown due to a change in the legislation there brought about by a trade deal with the US, where I think it's not an additive, it was a growth hormone that the Americans insisted that they accepted. We're talking about things here like chlorine washes and all sorts of additives and wonderful things that the Americans like that the EU doesn't. If by a trade deal it is deemed necessary to alter it, it's going to cause no end of problems. But we have to wait and see there. I'm doing a white paper at the end of the month, beginning of the January to see how things are progressing then, and we're going to have another webinar once hopefully things have settled down a bit.
Okay, perfect. We've tried to answer as many questions as we can, and if we've not answered the ones that we haven't answered, we will be emailing an answer to you. So just to reiterate, as members of Leatherhead, don't forget to visit our Brexit page on our website, where you can find the 2 other Brexit webinars we did earlier this year and the Brexit webinar. And as Ollie mentioned, we will be doing another Brexit white paper, which should be available in January. And at the start of next year, we will be doing another Brexit webinar to bring you up to date again on the latest things that have happened. Also, make sure you're signed up for daily food news, as this is a daily email news feed that comes out, as there's a specific Brexit section on there. Either go to the members section of the website and you sign in using your email address, and then you go to manage subscriptions and click on daily food news, or email us at the membership at leatherheadfood.com email address. For gold members and above, don't forget you can sign up for the monthly Brexit newsletter with all the latest developments. Again, email us at membership at, or contact legislation at if you have any more Brexit questions. As members, you can use your helpline time to answer these. A number of you have asked the questions. The recording and copy of slides will be sent to you by email next week and can also be found on the website in the Brexit page and on the members page. So lastly, I just want to say thank you to Oliver for such an interesting and detailed webinar. Thank you to you for joining us, and look out for details of our next Brexit webinar. If you'd like details of this, please email us at membership at. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.